Ever made a New Year's resolution only to wake up months later knowing it did not stick? How about buying a gym membership and only going a couple of times? What about deciding to make an important health-related change only to fall quickly back into old patterns of behavior? Do you know why this happens? It's because your mind is actually preventing you from achieving your goals and getting in the way of your success. So how can we get around this? Let's find out. Hello, I'm Dr. Susanna Zito. Today we're going to focus on why it is hard to introduce new habits and change our old ones. Our minds are talking to us all the time. So much so, we sometimes are unaware of the internal chatter that goes on and how this may be influencing our actions. Let's think for a minute of a time you made a decision to make some healthy changes to your lifestyle. You might have really felt strongly about your decisions and enjoyed the idea of the positive impact it would have on your life. And then at some point your mind planted a seed to not follow through just this once. Maybe your mind grabbed you with a thought that said, "You can start tomorrow," or "One time won't hurt you," "You're too old to change anyway." This is how you are. We all have these types of thoughts and it's quite normal that they pop up. The issue, however, unfolds when we listen to the thoughts that are not helpful and we believe them like they're facts, allowing them to move us away from the path we were keen to follow. In psychology, we call this process fusion with thoughts. That is, we fuse with the thought and cannot see that it may not be accurate. It is almost as if we're blinded by the thought and can't see anything else. So when the mind says, "I'm too old to change," we believe it and act against our very own plan and desires. This is how our own mind can get in the way of your plans. So what can we do? On the opposite side of fusion is diffusion. This is when we're aware that we had an unhelpful thought and we see it as it is, just a thought. A sentence, a word, an image in our mind. So how does diffusion help us in changing behavior? Diffusion helps by increasing our awareness of how the mind is talking to us. It gives us a chance to recognize thoughts when they're unhelpful and correct course. It is also helpful to learn from experience so we can discern from what the mind says and what happens in reality. Is it true you're too old to learn anything new? Of course it's not. So the next time your mind says, "I'm too set in my ways," notice it and acknowledge it as just a thought. Perhaps not a very helpful one, but a thought nonetheless. Then see if you can carry on with what matters to you the most, while focusing on what it feels like when you do. Learn from the actual experience rather than from what your mind tells you. Chances are, doing what matters to you probably makes you feel happy and fulfilled. So what are the steps you can take to handle that inner voice better? First, understand that our mind talks to us in ways that are not always helpful or supportive. This is normal. Second, develop an awareness of the specific thoughts your mind grabs you with. Know what they sound like. Lastly, make a conscious choice to carry on with your plan anyway. Even if your mind tells you otherwise, the bottom line is you do not have to do everything your mind says, and doing what matters to you is what will bring you joy. Start putting this into practice and remember, you're in control of your actions. So knowing what you know now, let me ask you, what changes are you going to make? We'd love to know what you're going to put into action, so leave a comment below. Make sure to click that subscribe button to join our YouTube channel, where each week we'll bring you new hints, tips, information and guides on how you can live your best brain healthy life. You can also visit our website at www.brainfitresorts.com for more information. Just see the links in the description below. Once again, I'm Dr. Susanna Zito, thanking you very much for watching, and until next time, live strong, live well, live brain fit.